Hey guys, it's Friday, February 17th, and this is Newswave. Let's just start this whole thing off by talking about the biggest story that obviously happened yesterday, and that was the big Nintendo Switch leak. So what happened was somebody somehow ended up getting an entire Nintendo Switch system just shipped to them, by accident I assume, from a real retailer. Now, there's a lot of people out there who are saying this might have just been someone in the press who wanted to use this excuse so that they could then show off the Switch. It's hard to say at this point, it really is. Based on what's going on over at NeoGAF, it seems like this is legitimate. Based on a lot of the messages, the retailer may be Amazon, we're not sure yet, but it really could be any of them. I mean, all of them should have them in their warehouses by now. Amazon, Walmart, Target, because it has to be distributed to all the different stores everywhere in the States, in the world, and at this point, yes, this could happen. It seems really bad on the retailer's part, but we did learn about a couple extra things, including theme, of course, being like you do like a black or white theme, the battery charge when they come together, where the Joy-Cons are fully charged, the system isn't, just a whole bunch of other stuff as well. And really, if you have not looked at the video yesterday, go check that one out. It's a lot more in depth. Just know that right now, yes, there is a Switch out in the wild, and this person's probably going to keep playing around with it. The funny thing is, though, they don't have any games to play. So all they can do is navigate the menu until they eventually get Zelda or 1-2-Switch or Bomberman or something to play on release day March 3rd. And from there, let's jump over to E3 news. We found out yesterday that Bethesda is having their meeting on the same day as Microsoft. That would be Sunday, June 11th, I guess, to jump out in front of the entire crowd, much like Microsoft is doing. We don't have an exact time for that day. It's probably going to be somewhere in there. It's either going to be before Microsoft or after Microsoft. And really, at this point, they probably are trying to follow suit with Microsoft, jump in front of everyone, get the big news out there before any other news is said, and they might get lost in the shuffle in there. I'm not sure what they're announcing. I know a lot of people talked about, like, Vegas 2 being announced, the Fallout. We'll just have to keep an eye and see if anything leaks out beforehand. But yes, Bethesda is following suit with Microsoft. They're going to be showing Sunday, June 11th for E3 before everyone else. And we also got a date for the Crash N Sane trilogy, the one that will be Crash 1, 2, 3 on the PS4 with updated visuals and animations and everything. It looks really good, by the way. If you haven't looked at it and you're a Crash Bandicoot fan, you need to go check out trailers now. But we found out that it's actually coming out June 30th for the PlayStation 4. This is a pretty good date. It'll give it a nice release over the summer. Usually when we have a bit of a quieter time. The summer, there's not a lot of games that get released between that June and July, the end of July period. So that'll be great for Crash. It'll fit right in there. And honestly, it'll probably sell well just because there won't be a ton of other stuff to buy at that time. So it's already going to be good, and now it'll probably have its own little time slot to be released in. And much like any of the other companies right now that are doing open betas, we're getting a Ghost Recon Wildlands open beta like we were saying before, and they released the dates now. So the open beta will be out for the PS4, the Xbox One, and the PC, and it's going to start Thursday, February 23rd. We'll run all the way through until Sunday, the 27th, and this will give players plenty of time to check it out. They're going to in turn also stress their servers with players' help, obviously, and this is good for both parties. Obviously, the players get to try it out and see how their new system works, where you can drop in and kind of drop out. And then, of course, they will stress the crap out of their servers just to make sure everything's okay for release date. This is good for companies to do this because we hate, I really mean this, we hate when servers go down the day something comes out, whether it's a game or a system. I think we'd all prefer they let us play it for free, be the guinea pigs, try it out, and then everyone's happy. What they're going to do is they're going to give us an exclusive mission to play through called Unidad Conspiracy, where you spark a war between two drug gangs and then fight it out from there. And it'll be cool. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm sure it'll play well. And really, I've been looking forward to Ghost Recon Wildlands for a little while now because back in the day on the PS2, I played a lot of Ghost Recon, the old school one then. And this one actually looks pretty good overall. I like their new system where you can kind of drop in and drop out of missions. And really, it's going to be interesting. It'll really come down to how well these servers hold up. At least we're doing open beta to find out beforehand. So we talked about how Horizon Zero Dawn leaked to the public. Street date was broken well in advance. I mean, like weeks in advance now. So yes, people are playing through the game right now, actually. As I'm talking on camera, someone is playing through it. And The good news is there are some people out there who understand that we don't want stuff spoiled, but we still want to know impressions of the game. And fortunately, over on NeoGAF, they have been posting about the game and their initial impressions, and they are good. So far, they've expressed how detailed the world is. They've even taken some screenshots, which I'll show you here. Don't worry, there are no spoilers here, but you'll see some really nice pictures here just of the overall environment. It even gets down to as far, and I'm not kidding guys, as far as there being ants on the tree that are completely rendered and actually scurrying around carrying leaves. It's that detailed. They also went on to say that the performance is good, frame rate is good, and the open world is huge. It's large, and there's a lot to do in it. So right now, I am excited. The 28th is coming up. I'll have exactly 3 days to play this game before I then have to switch over to Zelda, but this should pack those 3 days pretty well. Yes, I will be live streaming this game. If you guys were asking me, a few of you were asking me that on Twitter, I will be playing this game as soon as I get it. I'm going to attempt to get it a little early. I have a couple sources, see if I can get a day early and stream on over on YouTube for you guys. We can check it out and see how it plays. Oh, and one other thing about Horizon Zero Dawn, we did have confirmation now from the developers that there will be a day one patch, but it will only be 250 megabytes. That's it. It will not be a large day one patch. Now, it will need to install, they said, a 16 gig patch from the disk, of course. After that, you can then start playing while it probably installs the rest of it. But it's only a 250 meg download. I assume it's just little security flaws or patches or something for the game just to make it run better, or maybe just some extra things to clean it up. So don't worry, you won't be sitting there downloading something crazy like an 8 gigabyte day one patch. That's not the case. I'm happy about that. That means I can pop it in and start playing pretty much right away. And if you're a fan of Payday 2, which is a very popular game where you pull heists with friends online, a lot of stuff to do where you level up your characters, basically gather loot, make your character better, all kinds of stuff to that game. Great game. Starbreeze actually came out and said, yes, Payday 3 is in development right now, and you can expect it eventually, but it will not be rushed. And this is a quote from CEO Bo Anderson Clint, where he said, "It is with great satisfaction that we can also announce that Payday 3 production is officially initiated and at a full design stage." And this was alongside of their earning report earlier yesterday. And now we know Payday 3 is on the way. Great. I don't think any of us really... I think we were all expecting this, is what I'm trying to say, because Payday 2 was pretty successful. They had a ton of expansions, a ton of DLC, and it all went over well. So yes, you keep making games in a very successful franchise. It's also good to see that they are not rushing this game just to appease investors with sales. Really, take your time with the game, release it once, make it good, so we don't have to wait for patches on patches on patches to make it better, like how we had to wait with something like Mortal Kombat X or Batman Arkham Knight on the PC. Make it good from release, and we will buy it and have fun with it. And the last bit of news today comes from that game we talked about before, Snake Pass on the Switch. And we finally have a release date for this game. It's coming out March 28th in the United States, March 29th in Europe. And guess what? It's coming out on all the systems all at the same time. So that talk about porting to the Switch being easier, that must be true. Now, I've already expressed how I like the creativity and the look of this game. It's a platformer where you can't jump, which is already an interesting idea as it is. But like I said, it's coming out on all the systems, all across the board in parity. PS4, Xbox One, Switch. It's all coming across the board, and it's interesting because, yes, that means that the Switch must be easy to port to. They said they got it up and running in a week, and then, of course, had to do all kinds of work to optimize it for the system, probably going from handheld to dock mode. But this, I think, gives a lot of credence to that saying that, yes, the Switch can be ported easily, especially if it's running Unreal 4. We've seen that they've updated their website now. So, yeah, I mean, the Switch, it's got to be easy to port to at this point. If it's running Unreal Engine 4, it'll be interesting to see other games that don't use the Unreal 4 engine to see if it's easy to port to there. But based on what Nvidia, Nintendo, all of these companies are saying, I guess it is. And that's it for Newswave today, guys. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at SpawnWaveMedia. And let me know what you guys think about some of the news today. Were you surprised to see a Switch just show up on someone's doorstep, if that's the actual story, obviously, and they can just open it and start playing it? Well, they can't really play it. There's no games, but they can scroll through the menus and have fun doing that. Although I think most of us are jealous as it is because they have one. Or maybe you're excited for Crash Bandicoot on the PS4. I know I am. I want to check this thing out because I like the older Crash games, but I also want to check out Horizon Zero Dawn. Let me know what you think of some of those screenshots. I think they look pretty good. And that's all for today, guys. I will see you next time.